Dum. Race Spec. There it is there. It's just loading up to the channel now as I speak. There we are. So, stream's up. I can hear myself, so the audio is working as it should be, so we can start this stream. Hello and welcome, everyone, to round 7 of the PlayStation Pacific Series, the Tier 1 Pacific Series. Here on Race Spec Esports, we're back to begin another week of racing. Oh boy. And this time we're at a brand new racetrack for Race Spec Esports, Autodromo Internacional do Algarve, the home of the Portuguese Grand Prix. For many drivers here tonight, this will be their first league race on the 4.65 kilometer 15 turn racetrack. I can almost guarantee you as well that this is their first ever league race in the wet on this 4.65 kilometer 15 turn racetrack. Portugal will host its first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix back in 1958 and will continue to host Grand Prix racing until 1960. In 1984, Grand Prix racing would return to Portugal, but this time at the highly acclaimed and well-known Estoril circuit. But again, after 1996, the nation would fall into a hiatus with Formula 1. In the year 2020, with the global pandemic bringing everything to a halt, Portugal was asked to host a Formula 1 Grand Prix once again after a 24-year absence. The circuit of Portimão, as it's supposedly called, I mean, the amount of Portuguese people that are up in arms about the track being called Portimão is actually kind of ridiculous. But the circuit itself is a roller coaster ride, to say the least, due to its dramatic elevation changes around the track. There's 2 primary overtaking opportunities with the assistance of DRS into turns 1 and 5. Looking at the rest of the circuit, I don't really see any other place to pass, though the drivers tonight may surprise me. It's a big unknown for all of us here, for the drivers on track, for me in the commentary box, and I'm sure for you at home watching along. Best thing to do is keep an open mind and enjoy what will hopefully be an entertaining race. But a little bit of news from last week, from Monza, that absolute drama fest that we witnessed. There were 2 incidents that resulted in a penalty, one of which involving Spilly and Leo at the first Lesmo curve. Leo was found to be at fault and he received a 5-second penalty and 1 penalty point. This demotes him from P5 to P6. The really big incidents, though, were between SHZ Jax, the driver formerly known as Oz Formula, and GeForce Crichton. Those 2 had a monumental scrap right at the end of the race. It was quite entertaining to watch. Now, there were 3 major incidents over the course of those final 2 laps, 2 of which resulted in no further action, but one involving Crichton moving in a braking zone according to the stewards violated rule 3.2.2 of the Race Spec Racing rules. As a result, Crichton was given a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point. As a result, this means he finishes 2nd in the race to Jax, who claims his 2nd win in a row, coming off the back of Spa. In the championship, Crichton still leads on 138, with Spilly on 2nd on 115, 23 points behind. Then Jax takes 3rd place on 89 points, 49 behind our championship leader. Leo is in 4th place, is at P5, Ford in P6, Blanchard in 7th, Spicy in 8th, Swaggy in 9th, and Wogboy rounds out the top 10. In the constructors, Aston Martin are leading on 186, followed by Mercedes, Ferrari, Williams, Red Bull, McLaren, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, and Haas at the back of the field. In terms of news, all out of the way, we can now focus on qualifying. There's a bit of racing going on already with Leo and Jamie coming through turns 1 and 2. Call it Algarve circuit. You'll be fine. Yeah, fair enough, Alex. Yeah, as Spicy has retired out of the session. He's crashed out just before turn 10. There's his car there, so he's lost control coming up the hill. He's slid into the barrier on the outside, and he's out of qualifying, so he'll be starting from the back of the field. But this circuit in dry conditions is not easy to negotiate at all. A lot of blind corners. G4 Zach is out of the session now. His teammate's coming up to him. There he is there. So he's lost control, and he's ended up on the inside barrier there at turn 6. Okay then. So a lot of drivers not finding it easy at the moment. Oh, it's Crichton. Lost a little bit of control at turn 9. You can see riding on board with him, it is such a unique circuit. I don't think there's any track on the calendar that has this sort of elevation change as Izzat Kush jumps to the top, as you'd expect, because Izzat is a master in these conditions. It's legit a roller coaster ride. It's so unbelievable, the elevation changes here. Those dips and crests really do play a part on how the car behaves, especially in these wet conditions. Crichton jumps up to second place with a 128.402. G4's forward coming around turns 10 and 11. This completes the second sector. Down the hill around turn 12. They're back up a hill around turn 13. It is quite the exquisite circuit. I really do like this place, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not it's any good for racing in the Formula 1 game. Coming around the final turn, turn 15, absolutely flat out in the dry, definitely not flat out in the wet. Ford crosses the line, goes P5 with a 28.6 effectively. Race winner from Monza and Spa. Jax is not on a flying lap. I wonder if he'll go one this time around, and if he does, take you on a tour of the circuit. He hasn't switched on his battery just yet. In fact, he might be doing another out lap perhaps. We're right on board with him anyway. Give you a tour of the circuit into turn 1, then through turns 2 and 3. Turn 3 I found to be incredibly tight. It is super tight. Turn 4, very tricky left-hander, a bit of negative camber, and it wants to push you away from the racing line, force you wide to use the runoff area on the right. Turn 5, I couldn't believe how tight this corner was when I first went around it. I thought it would be way more open than that, but no, it is seriously tight around there. Through turn 6, then into the double right-handers of turn 7 and 8, as Minardi Berger is our third retirement in this qualifying session, crashing out at turn 10. Over the crest, then a steep drop through turn 9, into turn 10. Where's Minardi? He's in the middle of the road. Thank goodness he's ghosting. Jax didn't notice that. Tried to avoid the Alfa Romeo, but drove straight through. Around turn 13. Then into turn 14. It's an increasing radius corner, so you have to apex it early, be committed on the exit. Then coming around the final turn, turn 15. And then we're back onto the pit straight. Still not using any battery, which is fascinating to me. Not using any battery whatsoever. Spelly, purple to the second sector. He's coming through the final one now. Around the penultimate corner, turn 14. He's in the Sebastian Vettel mobile as well, you can tell, because he has the number 5 on his car. Good to see that glitch is still in the game. And he's got the Seb Vettel helmet too. And Spilly goes P6 with a 28.2. Oh, he's got a missing front wing. Wogboy has retired. He's crashed at the pit entry. You can see his dot stationary. Hang on a minute. We're right on board with Mr. Now. We'll get a closer look at this. He's completing a flying lap. There he is. There is the Ferrari. And he comes in. So Wogboy is out. Retirement number 4 in qualifying. Just shows you how brutal this circuit is. Drivers pushing right to the limit. Some pushing a little bit too hard. Bags, are you on a flying lap? Don't know. Hard to tell in these wet conditions. Drivers being incredibly tentative on the throttle, as you'd expect. Slow car. Oh, dearie me. Hang on a minute. Is that Jamie? No, it was his teammate, Blanchard. Actually, no, it's not even an Alpine. Oh, I do hate that. It's a Williams that's going slowly. The Alpine and the Williams dots are so similar in colour. It's so tough to tell them apart. Ah. And that's an Aston Martin cutting the circuit there at the final turn. That has to be Spilly because Ford is in the pits. So down the hill, around turn 12, down by 2 seconds. You're not on a flying lap. This man's about to be. He's coming through the middle sector now. Starting to lose my voice already. Good signs. They are not using any battery. Lockie? Are you on a flying lap? Let's see. You're using battery, so I'm going to assume you're on a flying lap. Around turn 9. Through 10 and 11. You have to sort of miss turn 10 to hit the apex of turn 11. Carry as much speed around the corner as possible, but he's down by almost 4.5 tenths. Plebs, oh, backwards. He spun out coming out of turn 12, and the rain has almost come to a stop. Like, it's definitely intermediate conditions now. You see people in the garage chucking on the intermediate tyre. So we're going to see drivers wait to the very last minute to set their final lap time. As whoa, Blocky goes very wide there. And actually he's going to give a tow to his teammate. What a great little bit of teamwork. It won't be much of a tow, but it's a tow nonetheless. Through turn 1. Then turn 2 sideways and through into turn 3. He somehow kept that car under control. Through turn 4, 4th gear, short shifts to 5th. Uses all the curb on the outside. Down towards the hairpin of turn 5, and he's up by almost half a second in the first sector. Exiting turn 5 in 3rd gear, brings it up 5th gear, 6th gear, round turn 6, into turn 7 and 8 now, brings it back down to 5th. Then back down to 3rd for turn 8. Short shifts at the exit, just to try and find the traction over the crest down the hill. Round turn 9. Then into the double right of 10 and 11. It's that late apex at turn 11. Gets around there very nicely. Oh, but oh dear, the exit was shocking. Got on the gas a little bit too much. Lost control. Fortunately, didn't put it into the barrier. And that would be a very costly mistake. Maybe Izzat will duck back into the pit lane and wait till till the end of the session to set another flying lap. Nope, Izzat's going to complete this one. Even with the mistake, only half a tenth off their personal best. Tell you what, they might be going on another flying lap here. Through turn 1. Then turn 2 into 3. There's an Alpine just behind. Let's see, is that Blanchard? It is Blanchard. So we'll keep an eye on both times. Always is that gets out of the way. Up by 6 tenths in the first sector. Showing that the track is definitely in intermediate conditions now. Through turn 6. Through 7 and 8. 5th gear brings it down to 3rd. Short shift as Jax jumps up to the top with a 25.7. Over the crest, down the hill, around turn 9. Over another crest at turn 10 into turn 11. Back down the hill. Through turn 12, up by 1.8 seconds in the second sector. Through 13. Gently modulating the throttle, not being too aggressive. Through the penultimate corner. Macedonian jumps up to second place with a 26.4. Around the final corner comes Blanchard. That's a Williams off at turn 3. Over the crest, up to the line. Blanchard jumps up to pole position, a 125.264. Wouldn't be surprised though if we saw those times topple with the conditions improving. Swaggy on a flying lap. Crichton just starting a flying lap now after invalidating his previous lap. Miss amount coming through the middle sector. Spilly jumps up to the top with a 25.194. 40 into second place, making it an Aston Martin 1-2 at the moment. Missed amount though is purple to the second sector. Around turn 14, nice and easy does it. Short shifts on the exit, sideways on the exit as well. Gets through the final corner nicely. Over the crest, up to the line. Miss amount jumps to second with a 25.244. Only just getting second place there over Ford. Jack's up by a tenth in the first sector. See what other drivers are up to. Swaggy coming up to the line. He jumps up to pole position with a 24.8. I'm pretty sure Crichton isn't too far behind. He's coming through the penultimate turn. Oh, really on the limit there. Great bit of driving. Exiting the final turn on the pitch straight over the crest, up to the line. Crichton up to third place with a 25 flat. Currently it's Swaggy followed by Isaac Kush. Then Crichton, Spilly, Miss Amount and Ford. That's the top 6. And it's close. It is properly close. Spilly has invalidated. Miss Amount is down by a second and a half. Ford, I think he's preparing himself to do one final flying lap. Coming around the last turn onto the pitch straight. Just over a minute left. Sets off to do one last flyer. Blanchard just down in the first sector. Can the Alpine driver improve in the middle? Gets around fairly nicely. Down the hill. Purple up by 2/10. Needs to find another 2 in this final sector. If he can jump up to pole. Let's see though. Around turn 14. Got a Red Bull just in front. That's Blocky. He's on a flying lap. Around turn 15. Keeps it at about 90%. Front runs too wide on the exit, but he has enough time to do another flying lap with 17 seconds left in the session. Ford up in the first sector. Missed amount coming around turn 5. Spilly, you're coming towards the end of the lap. Zach Crichton going into the pit lane. Oh, he spun out and, oh, dearie me, that's not a place where you want to be. He's reset right into the middle of the circuit. I don't think that was intentional. I think the game did that, and Crichton's qualifying is done. Oh, and Spilly's lost control at the final turn. The best he can hope for is 4th. Izzat is down in the first sector. Swaggy's qualifying is done. Oh, and this man's lost it. He cuts the track. The best he can hope for is P6. Can anyone challenge Swaggy? Oh, Jax, you were in an odd place there at the final turn. He comes into the pits. Bags, what about you? You're coming around. Oh, as DRS is enabled, coming around turn 14. I think Swaggy might have pole position here. And the final turn onto the pit straight. Coming up to the line. Bags does not improve. He was way down. Leo, you're up in the middle sector. But you need to improve by about a second if you want to take pole position. Around the final turn now. Blanchard retires, I believe, on track. Oh, a big wiggle there from Leo. big wiggle there, and Leo is not happy with himself. And it's Jamie, oh my goodness, turns himself into a Beyblade right at the end of qualifying. Dearie me, what a carnage fest here at Portimo. Oh my goodness. It's Swaggy on pole position, followed by Isaac Kush. My goodness, what a dramatic end to qualifying that was. Ford in second, Crichton in fourth, Spilly P5, missed him out P6, Blanchard in seventh, Jackson 8th, Bags Liddell in 9th, Plebs rounds out the top 10. Leo 11th, Jamie 12th, Scotty 13th, One Slick Mofo in 14th, Macedonian 15th, Wogboy P16, Zach P17, Blocky Rex P18, Minardi Burger P19, and setting no time at all. Spicy will start from the back of the field in 20th. Now, considering this is a wet qualifying, people can decide whatever tyre they want to start on. That's if it's a dry start, of course, and it is a dry start. And from the looks of things, there's no major cloud cover, so it might be a dry race. But there we are. I can see hard tyres in the garage there for the Zach. Now, the guy in the chat right there, Kyle Dyer, good friend of mine, he did a league race here at Algarve, and he told me that tyre wear really isn't an issue around here. You can easily do softer mediums, according to KD, of course. I'll hold you to it, KD, seeing as you're watching. It'll be interesting to see who starts on what tyre for this race. I imagine it will be a fair old mix of soft tyres and medium tyres. I don't think anyone would be starting on the hards. Right, yeah, drivers will be setting off on their formation lap. Don't need telemetry, we need the detail. My goodness, that's a lot of mediums. Right. So, Swaggy on pole on medium tyres. Is that in second on medium? Same with Ford and Crichton. Spilly P5 starting on the soft tyre. Tell you what, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was leading after 3 or so laps. Missed amount on the medium. Same with Blanchard in P7 and Jax, our race winner from both Spa and Monza. P8 on the medium tyre. Bags Liddell P9 on the softs. Plebs P10 on the soft tyre. Then we got Leo P11, Jamie P12, Scotty, One Slick Mofo, and Macedonian. All of them are starting on the mediums. Wogboy starting on the hard tyre. I don't think he'll be liking that decision because he's the only one on the hard tyre. Zach P17, Blocky P18, Minardi Burger P19, Spicy starting at the back of the field, P20 on the soft tyre. I like that. That's aggressive. He wants to make up moves early and get towards the front. No, this is going to be a big unknown for all of us watching. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, quite right, KD. Drivers will need to get their tyres up to temperature. And it's not easy, even on the medium tyre, to get them up to temperature at times. Definitely the hard tyre, though. It's like driving on concrete sometimes. Almost impossible to get up to temperature. But no, this should be quite interesting to see how it all pans out here. Will it be a wreckfest like we saw in qualifying, or will it be a godly racetrack where we see drivers battle wheel to wheel all the way around the racetrack? Will it be a haven for the safety car, or will we not get one at all? And the ultimate question, who will come out on top here for the first time in Portugal on Race Spec Esports? Well, all those questions are about to be answered in just a few moments. Spicy is lining up into his grid slot, and we can get this race underway. 20 cars lined up, ready to go. 33 laps lay in front of us. We have 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Swaggy doesn't really convert well. Is that down the inside, heading down towards turn 1. Should lead the field round the first corner. The two Aston Martins make contact at the first turn. Oh, and Swaggy's putting up a fight into turn 3. They're side by side, biffing and banging as they make their way round the hairpin. Through turn 4, they're still side by and into the barrier. Zach Kush is out. After 4 turns, their Portuguese Grand Prix experience is over. And right at the back of the field, who's this? It's Jamie. He's lost a whole heap of ground after the first couple of corners. But dearie me, we've had a retirement already on the first lap in the first sector. Oh, and a big send there from Minardi Berger, looking down the inside at Zach there for P17. Over the crest, around turn 9, up the hill around turns 10 and 11. Single file at the moment. No aggressive driving from what I can see. Around turn 12 towards turn 13, still all single file. Drivers looking though left and right to trying to fight a way past, and yeah, fair enough is that I would leave as well. I mean, all that effort in qualifying gone on the first lap. It wouldn't feel nice at all. But out in front, it's G-Force Swaggy leading the way, followed by Ford and Spilly, who had their own little scuffle at turn 1. Dearie me, Jax finds himself in 4th place, Crichton in 5th, then Blanchard, Plevs, the 2 Williams cars, then Mr. Mount rounds out the top 10. And we'll see here, in terms of positions change, I was going to say, Jack's made a great start, up 4 positions already. From P8 to P4. Good stuff. Same with Plebs up 3, Leo up 3, Macedonian up 4, Blocky Rex up 3. So some good starts in the field. Mr. Mount down 4, he won't be happy with that, I'm sure. Or the 2 Alpha Tauris are side by side. They're still side by side around turn 6, heading towards 7. Scotty gets out in front in that little battle. Now everybody's sort of calmed down after the opening lap drama. Ooh, Mr. Mount gets close. You can see it's all single file at the moment. All single file. Something's happened. That is... oh no, it's spicy. He spun round. Ooh, hello, Minardi. He's on the soft tyre. He was hoping to make up moves early and get up towards the front, but unfortunately that hasn't really worked. We begin lap 3. DRS is enabled. Bags is on the back of his teammate, and Ford overtakes his teammate for P2. And that is spicy, crashing at the final turn. So he's obviously lost control. He's got it going again, but yeah, he's a long, long way behind now. He desperately needs a safety car. But you can see, actually, everyone from P16 upwards is within a second of one another, as Zach has a massive moment there. Leo and Plev side by side, heading out of the hairpin around turn 6. And towards the double right of 7 and 8, Plebs comes out on top in that little exchange. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there as they go around the right-hander, over the crest, down the hill towards turn 9. Leo applying pressure here, trying to find a way past the McLaren, but he's currently unable to do so. But yeah, it's quite astonishing, really, how closely bunched up this field is. It's very, very close at the moment, and a single mistake could take out multiple cars here, so drivers really do have to be on their toes. Now, Ford's lost a fair amount of time. He needs to close within 1 second, and I don't think he's done that. Let's have a look. Coming up to the DRS zone now. He doesn't have it, I think. No, the lights come up. He does have it, but he's not using it. See that blue light there? That means he's got DRS available to him. He didn't use it. Does he have a DRS failure, maybe? Well, I don't know, but he had it available to him, and he didn't use it. So, there you go. Down towards turn 5. The leaderboard is in a shocking spot for this camera. A big dive bomb from Bags! Oh my goodness me, he really sent it on his teammate. They're side by side. But again, Leo comes out on top. I'm pretty sure that's Leo. Yes, it is. Leo on the medium tyre. He was sideways there, exiting 8. Over the crest, down the hill once again. Bags applying a lot of pressure. He wants to get a move on. He's on the soft tyre. He wants to get by and try and make a charge towards the front. He's a bit stuck at the moment. He looks, he dives. Leo gave him a bit of room there just to get around the corner. You can really sense the urgency from Bags. He wants to get to move on. But this has got to be the biggest DRS train I think I've ever seen. As Spilly sets fastest lap, this is a pretty neat camera shot down the pit straight. Down towards turn 1. No one at the moment in a position to attack. Everyone just following one another. Wogboy overtaking Blocky for P14 around turn 4. Down towards the hairpin of turn 5. None of these guys are really close enough at the moment. Oh, and Bags again looks down the inside. He really, really wants to get by. Missed him out on the back of the 2 Williams cars as Leo has a moment there entering turn 8. He maintains his P8 position. Now we've got a feral gap forming between Wogboy and Scotty. You can see the gap on the mini-map. Those fellas will have a lot of work to do. And Wogboy's on the hard tyre, so he won't be competitive. I don't think he will be able to catch up, even with the clear air. Well, maybe not clear air, probably clear-er air. It's a better word to use. Bags again, closing in on his teammate, using DRS, heading down towards turn 1. You can see Leo weaving there a little bit. I'm pretty sure that was Leo weaving there. It was definitely one of the Williams cars weaving down the straight. Spicy fastest lap. He's got a lot of work to do down in 19th place. Down towards turn 8. Oh, and a big sin from Mr. Mount. I don't think that was intentional. I think he just missed his braking point. And he took avoiding action going deep down the inside. Trying to minimise the damage. Unfortunately, I don't think there was any damage. I think all the drivers involved got away with that. Yes, a lot of squabbling at the moment for position. Towards the front though, Spilly leading the way, followed by Swaggy, Ford, Jackson, Crichton. And none of them are able to pass one another at the moment. Swaggy hasn't been able to pass Spilly. And obviously, because Swaggy has DRS, Ford or Jax or Crichton, they can't pass Swaggy. They just won't get the momentum to. Down the pit straight to begin lap 7 of 33. Down towards turn 1. And through turns 2 and 3. Swaggy into the lead as well. I didn't catch that. I was too busy looking at chat. My bad. Alrighty, Drax. Hards are pretty decent around here. Can last the entire race. Well, that doesn't help for Bags Liddell. He's into the barrier and facing the wrong way. Gets it turned the right way and away he goes. He's lost a whole... Ooh, keep it straight, keep it straight. Be careful, your tyres are cooked. Swaggy now in front. He wants to pull away, but Spilly on the soft tyre. I reckon those soft tyres are still alright after 7 and a bit laps. Certainly hasn't lost any ground. But yeah, I'm surprised this glitch is still in the game where a driver joins late and they go straight into the real life car with the real life number and the real life helmet. Like, it's quite obvious he's in the Seb Vettel Aston Martin. Yeah, I thought they patched that, obviously not. Down the pitch straight towards turn 1. Spilly is closing in. He looks, doesn't commit to a move though. Probably a wise idea. Leo and Plevs changing positions there. Down the pitch straight. Leo had DRS, he made the move stick. Now Mr. Mount is right on the back of this as well. Can Plevs counter-attack here? Down the back straight away towards turn 5. I don't think he'll be close enough. Though Mr. Mount might fancy a shot. Into the hairpin? No, unfortunately not. This is really tight stuff towards the front. No one's broken away. It's all just really, really tight. Jack's right on the back of Ford. Around turn 10. Nice wide apex at turn 10. Then a nice narrow one at turn 12 to really maximise the speed coming out of turn 11. Through 13. Uphill corner. Over a small crest into turn 14. It's a nice exit. Uses battery around the final turn. You can tell from the engine note he's kept it flat. Down the pit straight. He's closing in on Ford, but he doesn't close in anymore. With both cars having DRS, they sort of nullify one another. Missed him out, overtaking Plevs down the inside of turn 1. Plevs doesn't give in, and spinning is missed him out. The two made contact at the first turn, and unfortunately for missed him out, he got the short straw. He drops to P12. Here comes Wogboy, and Wogboy slows up, and Zach has made a mistake at the first turn. He's spun out. He's dropped a position. Make that 2. He's fallen to 18th. Spicy, a 3-second time penalty. He's the second driver with a penalty next to their name. One slick mofo on the back of Plevs. Oh, and a big moment there. That was a big moment. A good catch, though. Great catch. A classic catch, for that matter. Down the hill, around turn 12. Leaders are making their way through the final sector. Tell you what, we could probably bring up the tyre graphic because I reckon we're getting close to stops, particularly for those soft runners. Not quite sure when the pit window is. Just have to wait and see. We've done 8 laps. Let's say if it is a soft to medium race, I imagine the pit window is about lap 12, 13, 14, maybe 15. One slick mofo overtaking Plevs there cleanly before the braking zone into P8. What a fascinating race this has been so far. Spicy setting another fastest lap. Jamie overtakes Blocky for P14. Zach overtakes Minardi Burger. That's for 17th place. Really tight stuff here through the hairpin. See, we have a top 6. Make that top 7 for me. And we got a bit of a break between Leo and One Slick Mofo, who has Plevs for company. And it's an even smaller break between Plevs and Scotty. 1.6 seconds. He's got his teammate Macedonian right behind. Really wide entry into turn 9, trying to carry as much speed as possible. Leaders making their way around the penultimate corner. Ooh, a bit wide there for Jax. He's got Crichton right on his gearbox. Fuel isn't really an issue. Alrighto. Good to know. And if, yeah, I agree, Alex. If it is soft to medium, yeah, pit window about lap 14 or so. I agree. We'll just have to wait and see, though. Yeah, not much happening here at the front. It's all tight, it's closely fought, but nobody can get a run to try and make an overtake, except for the two at the front, because Swaggy obviously doesn't have DRS, as he's the leading car. But Spilly hasn't been able to make any sort of move on the Alfa Romeo. The advantage of the soft tyre slowly diminishing over the crest around turn 9. Then through turns 10 and 11 once again. Just notice as well I left the pit stop detail up on the leaderboard. We can get rid of that. Lovely aerial shot here as Leo cops a penalty. Now, considering where he was, he must have run wide at turn 12. That's how he copped the pen. Because he didn't go into the hairpin of turn 13 yet, and it's not a corner that you naturally want to cut. So he must have run wide somewhere, and Spilly is closing in. Here we go, but he's low on battery. You can tell from the flashing light at the back of the car, but it doesn't matter for the Aston Martin driver. He's through into the lead. Minardi making a mistake at turn 13. Gets it going. Still in the race. Just needs to keep digging and hope for a safety car. down towards the hairpin. Spilly, I don't think he'd be able to break away now. His tyres will be too worn to try and break away. But yeah, you can tell on his dash. Actually, we can bring up the telemetry if we get a better look. 18%, so he is fairly low on battery. He's used a fair bit. Look at Swaggy on 62%. Ford on 22. Jax, he was on 48 when I flicked to him. Now up to 54 after going through the braking zone. 54 for Crichton, and Minardi Berger is out. He's crashed out at turn 4, and instead of hoping for a safety car, he sort of created the safety car. Oh dear. So, what did the leaders do? Well, I reckon Spilly's pitting in. What about the guys behind? And he comes. So that's where the pit line is. Just over the crest. Bring up the tyre graphic. Could probably get rid of the interval graphic. There we go. Mediums. There we go. He's being held, is he? Or is this a glitch? No, he was held. He was genuinely held. He's actually behind. Oh, he was behind Jax, but the game slowed up the Ferrari. So Spilly now in 3rd. Jax in 4th place. Swaggy and Ford stay out. I reckon they might regret that decision. Unless they're planning to do a medium soft race. They're going to hope for some sort of safety car, but even so, they're not in a great position because quite literally everyone behind those two have pitted for fresh tyres. So Swaggy and Ford, they've sort of backed themselves into a corner. It's going to be very tough to get themselves out of that corner. You see Spilly on fresh medium, so is Pleb, so is Wogboy in 12th. And Spicy in P16, and Bags in P18. GeForce Zach is on fresh softs. Don't know about that. He'll probably have to make another stop. Then we got everybody else on the hard tyre, except for the 2 leaders, of course. There's a safety car, the red Mercedes-Benz. We don't get the British Racing Green Aston Martin. Get that lovely looking Mercedes-Benz. Is it an AMG GTR, I think? Is that what it's supposed to be? I'm pretty sure it's an AMG GTR. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I can't quite remember. Is it GTR or maybe GTS? I can't remember. Rightio. Well, the softs may last that period of time. It's whether or not they're competitive for that period of time. I mean, I personally don't know. I have absolutely no idea what the tyres could do. Like, logically, doing 20 laps on the soft tyre is a next to impossible thing on literally any other circuit. I can't think of a single racetrack where you can do 20 laps on a soft tyre and successfully make it. You know, yeah, no, none really come to mind. So from a logical point of view, I don't think those softs could make it, but I'm not fully aware of the tyre wear situation for each of the compounds around this circuit. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Zach can make it on the soft tyre, but whether or not he'll be competitive after 20 laps, I somewhat doubt it, but who knows. We'll just have to wait and see. There's been a bit of passing going on. What's going on here? Macedonia and GeForce Zach changing positions there. So oh yeah, Brazil. I forgot about Brazil. You can basically do half and half around there if you wanted to, and as a legitimate strategy. If you're forced to do 20 laps on the soft tyre at Brazil, yeah, you could probably do it. Because tyre wear isn't a colossal issue at Brazil. And the lap itself is fairly short. So, yeah, I didn't really think of that. That's a good point. But that's also a good point, ACW, as we're about to go under green flag racing. Swaggy is still holding up the field. Spilly's tyres, after 13 laps or so, were still looking alright. Like, he still had good pace, so... yeah, this should be very interesting. We're back under green flag racing here at Portimao. And look at the bunching up going on back here. Into turn one we go, side by side. Oh, that's tight. Oh, contact. Oh, that was nasty. Fortunately, One Slick Mofo was on top of it, and he's actually going to try and pass the Mercedes. Around the outside, though, he can't make it stick there, unfortunately. Mofo had a run. Oh, and Crichton's made a mistake. A big mistake, and he cuts back onto the racing line. Oh, there's some side-by-side drama going into the hairpin here. Oh, everybody's getting through in one piece, though. No major drama at turn 5. Oh dear, that was close stuff. Around turn 8, up and over the crest once again, down towards turn 9. Very tightly fought first lap, back under green flag racing. A bit of squabbling going on in the background, and the squabbling has resulted in yellow flags. G-Force Zach spinning round. No visual damage from what I can see, though I can't see too much because there's trees in the way. But he looks okay in terms of damage. Swaggy, though, still leading, but he's got Spilly right behind on fresh tyres. I don't think he'll be able to keep him at bay, and Spilly does retake the lead at turn 1. So yeah, Swaggy and Ford, you've got a lot of work to do, fellas. Cards are definitely not in your favour. The only thing you do have is track position, and that is G-Force Zach going into pit lane. Oh, and so is Bags Liddell. I didn't notice that. He was in the pit lane as well. Side by side, Plebs Leo. Plebs coming out on top. Around turn 8. Leo very close. Oh, very sideways as well. Loses a whole heap of time. But he's still in the race. That's the main thing. Just noticed as well, we've reached over half a century of comments as well. Keep up the chatter. Hope you're enjoying it. Coming around turn 14. Tightly bunched up. But still Swaggy and Ford hanging on. I'll give him credit. They're hanging on. And in fact, Swaggy's got a bit of a buffer to Ford as well. And here... here comes the conga. Looking round the outside. This is an ambitious move from Jax. There was no way in the world he could make that stick. Fortunately, he didn't end up in the barrier, but he makes contact with Ford at the apex of turn 3. Now, I can't see any damage, but there was definitely contact. And we know how sensitive the damage model can be in this game. Crichton is weaving left and right there on the back straightaway. He's right on the back of Blanchard. Oh my goodness me. That's the second time I've seen him do that. And actually we can get rid of the telemetry. Don't need that. Probably don't need the tyre graphic as well. We'll get the interval graphic back up. There we are. Up the hill towards 10 and 11. Close stuff here. Down the hill around turn 12. Still closely bunched together. Now DRS should be enabled, and Ford is not within a second of Swaggy. This isn't good news. Though he's closing in, can he get within? Oh, he's out by a 10th. He's out by a 10th. Let's see, does he get it? No. No blue light on the steering wheel. No flap open at the rear. Jax is closing in. There is Blanchard. Also closing in, missed him out overtaking Scotty for P10. Plebs is right on the back of One Slick Mofo here, heading round the hairpin of turn 3. Looking round the outside, he'll try the inside of turn 4, will he? No, he'll be more sensible than that. He'll be patient, wait for the right moment to strike. Down towards the hairpin of turn 5. Plebs looking round the outside, can he keep it there? He's going to try, but he can't succeed. Mofo hangs on to P7 for now. Dag setting a fastest lap of 1:18.940. Leaders are making their way round turn 8. Spilly is starting to pull away. He's out of DRS range from Swaggy, so he should be able to pull away. Swaggy on old tyres, he can act like a roadblock. Coming through the final sector, this big group of cars, all squabbling with one another. All trying to battle and survive at the same time, I imagine. And Jax, he might have a go here. It's quite a long pit straight. Missed him out a 3-second time penalty. Here we go, onto said pit straight. Opens DRS. Jax is closing in on the Aston, who is running low on battery. Pulls to the inside. Doesn't commit to the move, though. He actually gives the Aston Martin a bit of a bump there. Just a little bit of Morse code between the two drivers. A bit of communication there. Jax, he might have a go into turn 5. Gets a nice run out of 4. Can he get enough momentum? Actually, no, he won't. He definitely won't. Closes in on the braking zone, but he can't make the pass. Oh, there's some tight stuff going in the background there. I saw that. Spicy sets fastest lap. Missed him out right on the back of Leo. Heading around turn 8. Up the hill, over the crest. Down the hill, around turn 9. Then back up a hill. Really is a fascinating racetrack when you look at the topography of the circuit. Look at the dramatic elevation change it has. It really is like no other racetrack I've ever seen on a Formula 1 calendar. It's just so dramatic all the way around. It's almost as if every corner has some sort of unique characteristic about it, whether it be the elevation change or the camber. Down the pit straight, here comes Mr. Mount, looking to pass the Williams as Jax gets by Ford for 3rd place. Leo overshoots turn 1 a little bit, but he sort of parks the bus. Doesn't let Mr. Mount by into P9. And Ford is a bit too far back to attack Jax, and Jax himself has got DRS. Blanchard, though, looking down the inside into turn 5. Maybe a little bit of contact, but nothing major from what I could see, or hear for that matter. Side by side into turn 7. Ford running low on battery. Blanchard running wide. He keeps it round the outside of Ford. They're side by side over the crest. Down the hill, Ford comes out on top, but Crichton introduces himself to this battle now. It's a 3-way fight for 4th as Blanchard had a sneaky look down the inside but couldn't commit to the move. Round turn 12, up the hill again towards 13, deep under brakes there, getting as close as he can to the back of the Alpine. Crichton, can he find a way past? Not quite. Blanchard, he too is struggling to get by Ford. Even on those old tyres, Ford is still hanging on. Same with Swaggy, still in 2nd place, doing a great job. He's in, so is Ford. So they're going on to the soft tyre now. Actually, I've lost count of the amount of laps they've done. They've done 21 laps. This has been a really quick race, even with the safety car. Into turn 1 comes Blanchard and Crichton. 0.3 of a second separating the two. I'm sure Crichton would love to have a go into turn 8. It's probably the best overtaking spot on the circuit. But the Alpine gets an amazing run out of turn 4. No way Crichton can fight for position here. Oh my goodness me. These fellas are wearing me out. I'm talking non-stop. Wogboy overtaking Macedonian down the inside at turn 5. Makes it stick. Scotty puts up a fight though. Sorry, Macedonian puts up a fight. Can't make it stick though. Wogboy into P10. Now let's see here. Back up to this, shall we? Look at Spilly out of throat. 3.5 seconds. Fantastic job from him. Is continuing to pull away. And these fellas, we've got Jax leading the train, followed by Blanchard, Crichton, Mofo, Plebs. Leo missed him out, and Scotty isn't too far behind. There he is there in the back of shot. He's on the back of this, ready to capitalise on any mistakes these drivers make, as Mr. Mount is applying a lot of pressure here. Down the pitch straight, looking round the outside into turn 1. Commits to it. Leo parks the bus into turn 2. Then 3. Can't go down the inside. Didn't have the momentum. Up the hill around turn 4. Blocky Rex goes into the pits as well, into the hairpin. I have to say, this has been a fantastic debut race for Algarve. This has been magnificent to watch. These fellas are battling really hard, and it's really tight as well, as Leo had a moment at the exit of turn 8. He was quite sideways, missed him out right on the back, looking left and right to try and pass. The Williams is compromised. Oh, but a big slide from Mr. Mount. He might have been able to sneak into 7th place there, but he had a massive tank slapper coming around turn 11. He managed to catch it, but he's still in P8. Crichton on the back of Blanchard, still trying to find a way past, but the Alpine is holding on strong. In fact, Blanchard is closing in on Jax. The power of DRS is quite evident. Down to turn 1, the gap shrinks to 0.2 of a second. Now, whereabouts? Oh wow, Swaggy and 40 there in 13th and 14th. They're 7 seconds behind the field. They really need a safety car. Swaggy, 40, setting fastest laps, but they are so far behind, I don't think they'll be able to catch up. A massive send from Crichton. Down the inside of turn 5, he pushes the Alpine wide, but he lets Blanchard retake the position there. Oh my goodness, what a big send there from the Mercedes, looking left and right, desperately trying to find a way past. Oh, 1 sec mofo, playing side-by-side contact. Oh, and a 5-second penalty for Blanchard, corner cutting and gaining a place. What corner did he cut? Oh, and a big slide for Leo. Here comes Mr. Mount down the inside to take the position, though Leo is fighting around the outside. This will give him the inside line for turn 14. I think he might be able to hang on to the position. Amazingly, he does. He hangs on to P7 even after all this drama. My goodness. But yes, Blanchard has a 5-second time penalty for cutting a corner, and that's Blocky Rex making a mistake there at turn 8. Blanchard takes 2nd place away from Jax, but that 5-second penalty is going to be incredibly costly. Oh, and in the background, Mr. Mount still fighting with Leo. What a scrap this has been. Down the back straight towards turn 5. The Haas looking left and right, looking around the outside, and I think that might have given him a penalty there. Oh, and bumping and banging on the exit, and spinning is the Williams. He's facing the wrong way now. Mr. Mount drives off to take the place. Scotty into P7. As I said, he was just waiting for a mistake to happen, and there was one at turn 5, and he's just gained 2 places out of it. My goodness. Crichton now on the back of Jax. He's trying to keep up with Blanchard. The Alpine has shown fantastic pace. Really been on fire, NRX Blanchard. But with the power of DRS, Jax, I think, will stay in play. Though he's lost a fair amount of ground. The gap has increased to 0.8 of a second. Around the final turn onto the pit straight. Once again. All of these guys will have DRS. And we go towards turn 1. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Tight stuff. Missed him out into the pit lane. So that incident gave him damage, obviously. And that is Blocky again. Making a mistake again at turn 8. Oh, poor fella. But he's still going. You know, he might be in last place, but he's still running out there. That's the main thing. And who knows? We might have a massive pile up and he's in the points. So he just needs to keep fighting. Out in front, Spelly's having a grand old time. He's got a 5-second lead. He's got, how many laps to go? That's 9 laps to go if we include lap 25. He can just cruise to the finish. He's enjoying life at the moment, the Aston Martin driver. So would I if I was in his position. These fellas, though, they're scrapping it out as if their lives depended on it. And that's Blocky coming into the pit, so he may retire here. He might squander all my words. In fact, no, he's actually spun. Dear oh dear. So we've seen this a few times with people spinning out at the final turn. It must be a very tricky corner to get right, especially if your tyres overheat. If they do, they just lose all grip. Notice that a lot in my team, especially when you have an upgraded car. Tyre temperatures become way more important to deal with. You have to mess around a lot with your tyre pressures, your camber, your toe, all that kind of stuff. There is Spelly leading the way. Here comes the rest of the field, making their way round the hairpin. The gap steadily increasing between P1 and 2. Spelly driving very well. We got a few scraps going on behind. Macedonian and Wogboy battling for position. This is for P8 on track, though Wogboy has a penalty next to his name. I actually better bring this up, because it will be an important detail towards the end of the race. We can see the penalties being dished out. Blanchard has 5 seconds. Scotty has 3. Wogboy has 9 seconds. That's a lot. My goodness. Leo has 3. Jamie has 3. Ford has 5. That was for speeding in the pit lane. Spicy has 3. Mr. Mount has 9. Zach has 3. And then Blocky Rex has 8 at the back of the field. Now Macedonian, he is close. I reckon he might be able to go for a move. He'll gain a lot of time down the pit straight, but he's not using any battery, and that's why he's very low on it. So he will close in, just not by enough. Meanwhile, out here, the battle for second is intensifying. Jax and Blanchard still battling for position. Jamie overtaking Ford. That is for P12. Wait, Jamie overtaking Ford. Ford's on soft tyres. Is Jamie as well? No, he's on 12 lap old mediums. What did you do, Ford? Just made a mistake. Around turn 11, down the hill. Oh, sideways there for Crichton. Driver's right on the edge of grip. Plebs has got a bit of work to do. He needs to close in to within a second of Mofo. Otherwise he'll start to lose a fair amount of ground, as he won't have DRS. I think he'll stay just within a second. And I mean only just stay within a second. Down the pit straight we go. Jack's closing in. Oh, not close enough to attack. Around the hairpin now, turn 3. Jack's looking really racy, really aggressive. He might be able to have a go into the hairpin. Get rid of the leaderboard just in case if it covers up any of this. Down towards turn 5, again, not close enough. Didn't really want to go for the move. This is the battle for P2 and 3 on the podium. Tightly fought battle at this stage. Mr. Mount, fastest lap. Showing the pace he's got. Around turns 10 and 11. Back down the hill, completing the second sector. Back up around turn 13. Then through turn 14, the penultimate turn. I reckon Jax just might be able to have a go here. Leaders coming onto the pit straight to begin lap 29 of 33 here at Algarve. 40 got damaged, fair enough. Here comes Jax down the inside. A simple move with DRS. He's into second place. I wonder what Blanchard's response might be here. Will he stick behind the Ferrari? Or will he try to retake that second place? Mofo, a 3-second time penalty. He's in 5th place. Down towards the hairpin. Not attacking just yet. Sector 1, yellow flag. That's Blocky again. Poor fella. Mr. Mount, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as he retires from the race. Well, he in his position, he would have scored something, but I guess he has no concern about points right now. Quite an unfortunate incident between him and Leo. Really ruined his race. Coming around the final turn now. Jax has got half a second over Blanchard. Oh, he runs wide, losing time. And here comes the Alpine. With DRS closing in on the Ferrari. Looks to the inside. And he's through into second place once again. Jax right on the back of the Alpine here. Heading around turn 4. Crichton, I think, was a bit narrow into the turn. He was a bit wide on the exit as well, but stays close and true. And down the inside, Jax is looking. And he completes the pass. Retakes second place at turn 5. What a great scrap this has been between these fellas. Still tight. Ford, fastest lap, 1:17.340 on the soft tyre. He overtakes Zach for P15. He's back in the points. As remember, the top 15 score points here in Race Spec. Down and around the final turn. Blanchard, he's half a second behind Jax, but Jax doesn't make the same mistake as he did on the previous lap. Got 3 laps to sort this out, and Blanchard retakes second. Carbon copy move from the lap before. How hard will these gentlemen race? Will they give it absolutely everything? Oh, Jax. Oh, into turn 5 we go. Crichton down the inside. They're side by side on the exit, heading towards turn 6. This seems very familiar, doesn't it, from last week? They're side by side making contact. And off the track is Jax. Mofo looking down the inside. They all get through. Crichton's into third. There was a bit of biffing and banging going on there. You kind of expect that towards the end of the race. Drivers are going to give it absolutely everything for the second position. Around turn 13 into the penultimate turn 14. Crichton, he's now 8 tenths. Make that 9 tenths behind Blanchard. Opens DRS. Closes in. Jax. He's under pressure here from Mofo. They're side by side heading down the pit straight. Oh, that looked nasty. Into turn 1 we go. They're still side by side. They sort it out though. Mofo into 4th place. Jax still right on the back. Heading around turn 3. They're side by side. Biffing and banging. Some more. And spinning. Into the barrier. It's Jax. His chance for a podium gone. Falls to P6. He's got complete wing damage as well. But he and Mofo have come together and he's retired. On track, if I'm not mistaken. That is a massive no-no. Oh, and look at Macedonian and Swaggy. Into the hairpin. Macedonian overshoots it. And Swaggy gets 2 positions. No, he spins. He spins out into the gravel trap, losing a whole heap of positions in time. And here comes Jamie in the Alpine. He may snag a position. He will. Swaggy loses it again. Oh my goodness, it's all kicking off. Swaggy has retired from the session. He's crashed out at turn 6. Oh my goodness me. Out in front though, Smelly is loving life. He's coming around the final turn. He will begin the final lap here at Portimao. Lap 33 of 33 with a 6.7 second lead. The battle for second isn't over yet either. Blanchard closing, well actually, sorry, Crichton closing in, or at the very least trying to close in. But he needn't worry as Blanchard has a 5-second penalty next to his name. Plebs is on course for a potential podium here. This will be his first podium of the season. But he's got one slick Mofo for company. Oh my goodness gracious me. Leo, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. He now increases his total to 6 seconds. Crichton doing all he can to try and close in. But I think the gap might just be a little too big to try and take second place away from Blanchard, though that 5-second penalty that the Alpine driver does have will ultimately demote him off the podium. Of course, This stuff can be reviewed after the race by the stewards. So don't take these final results as concrete final results. We'll have to wait until the stewards do their thing. But this is no question. Spilly comes around the final corner for the final time to take his first win of the season here in Portugal. Blanchard crosses the line in second place. No, that was a lap car. Blanchard second place across the line, but he's demoted down to fourth place rather. Crichton promoted to second place. Plevs, his first podium of the season, in third. And that is G-Force Ford off the racetrack there. I noticed that. One Slick Mofo, P5. Scotty, P6. He'll be happy with that. In fact, it's a great day for AlphaTauri, as both of them are in the top 10, with Macedonian in 7th place. Leo in 8th. Wogboy in 9th, making up 7 positions. Jamie in 10th place. Spicy, P11. We'll just be waiting on Bags, P12. Then G-Force Ford. Making up the most positions over the course of the race is One Slick Mofo from P14 to P5. He'll be happy with that, I'm sure. Making up that many places over the course of the race. Ford, he will be less happy. From P3 down to P13. Yeah, he won't be pleased. But he'll be ecstatic for his teammates. Spilly taking his first win of the season. First ever winner here at Portimao on Race Spec Esports, and lo and behold, it is One Slick Mofo who gets driver of the day. And here are the podium celebrations. He's been on the podium a few times, Spilly, but never the top step. Well, that's been rectified today, taking his first win of the season. Crichton P2 and Plevs P3. Looking at all the drama that happened, this is only going to be provisional. I'm sure there might be quite a few reports after this one. That was certainly a very tightly fought race here at Portugal. It was so much fun to watch. My goodness, that was intense. Well done, Spilly. Congratulations on your first win. Congratulations as well to Plevs and Crichton, finishing P2 and 3. Blanchard P4, finishing P2 on track for the 5 seconds, ultimately demoting him to 4th. Mofo 5th, Scotty 6th, Macedonian in 7th, Leo in 8th, Wogboy 9th, Jamie in 10th. Spicy rounds out the top... Oh, sorry. Jamie rounds out the top 10. Spicy P11, Bags in 12th. 13th goes G-Force Ford, G-Force Zach in 14th. Then we have Blocky Rex, Swaggy, who retired. Same with Jax. And missed him out, Bernardi Berger in Izzat after crashing out on the very first lap. You remember that? Right at the beginning. The first bit of drama happened on the first lap at turn 4. And G-Force Ford got fastest lap, so he'll snag that extra point. But we'll get the top 3 in here. And I just noticed in my Discord TMs we got Blanchard telling me that I should bring him in for the interviews, but I'm sorry, Blanchard, but you might be able to get those 5 seconds removed, mate, but that's not my decision. That's down to the stewards. And yeah, I just want to keep it as the podium finishes. But I'll get the top 3 in here right now, and we can have a nice chat. I'm sure there's plenty to chat about. Where is everybody? Spilly. Where is you? There you are. Plebs, where are you? There you are. And Crichton. No. There we are. There we are. Get in here, you 3. I'm exhausted from that. Oh, might keep the interview short because my voice is done. Holy cow. Like, I've seen races that have been as intense as this one, but never been as intense pretty much all the way through. Oh, okay. I hope I did send the invites. I might have to send them again. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, hello.
How are we?
Not too bad. How are you?
Quite sweaty after that.
For some reason, the notifications didn't pop up. Hang on. Oh, you're all in here. Oh my goodness, I hate PlayStation. I really do hate PlayStation. It just... Sometimes the notifications work, sometimes they don't. So we have... Crichton, you're here. Svelly, you're here?
Yep.
And Plebs, you're here.
Copy.
Present.
I am.
Okay, you're all here. Great. Thanks, PlayStation, for fully cooperating with me. Well, thank you, all three of you, for joining me here in the comms box. And I'll tell you what, we'll start with P3. Plebs, congrats on your first ever podium, mate. Finally, luck fell in your favour today.
Oh, it's amazing.
Instead
Amazing
of against you. But, no, you must be pretty relieved with this.
Yeah, pretty unexpected. I'm, to be honest, just using Tuesday races as practice for Sunday, because it gets a bit crazy. I think that was the first clean race I've had without kind of getting caught up in some kind of incident. So yeah, nice to actually finish one in and not have like a race compromised, which is nice. And nice to actually race after Sunday and getting disconnected because my internet was really crap. But yeah, happy with the podium. I don't know what was happening ahead of me. I was so much quicker than those guys on the mediums, but like overtaking is extremely difficult on this track. Like almost impossible in the DRS train.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that as well. That there was very little passing. It was very, very close though between pretty much all you fellas throughout that race. But how was the race for yourself, Plebs? Was it fairly smooth sailing for you?
It wasn't too bad. Apparently Jamie had I had an incident with Jamie on the first lap that I can't really remember. So yeah, okay. I'll take another look at the first lap. But otherwise, yeah, pretty clean, and you just tried not to get caught up in it. There was a couple of incidents in front of me where people were like spinning or crashing into each other, and I was trying to stay out of the way and not get taken out.
Yeah.
So
as you do on the
just
first lap.
Survival and keep good pace. I actually used my Zandvoort setup. Didn't really have time to make a proper setup. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
I've started doing that as well. I made one good Russish setup, so I use it everywhere now. So, but no, that it must feel really nice though. Like after all the stuff you've been through, you finally get a good result. No, you must be very, very relieved. But how was qualifying, by the way, in the wet? That must have been hair-raising.
Yeah, it was. The wets were really slippery, actually. But the inters were pretty fun. I only got the 2 runs, like the back-to-back laps, in at the end. So yeah, I would have liked to have done more. I didn't realise it had crossed over as I was a bit late to that, noticing people on inters kind of thing. But yeah, I enjoy the wet in any session, qualifying or the race. So yeah, that was good fun.
But no, congratulations, mate, on the
Thank
first
you.
podium of the season. Hopefully we'll see you a few more times over the course of the season, eh?
I hope so.
But no, congrats on the P3.
Cheers.
Mr. Crichton, P2.
Hello. Yes, sir.
How was the race for you? You were really aggressive at some points during that race. Holy moly. How was it?
Yeah, not too bad. I made my setup with 3 minutes to go before the lobby started.
Better late than never.
Yeah, better late. I was actually quite happy and stuff with how it was, but my race, lap 1 kind of got shoved out a bit. I think I went down to maybe P5 or something, P6. And then, yeah, it was just kind of chilling there, saving my battery, just staying in the train, and then safety car, and I was like, yep, definitely got to pit for hards here, otherwise I'm going to be nowhere. So
Yeah.
made sure I came in. I think I came out in P4 or 5, right behind Jax. And then, yes, Billy just drove away. So he was rapid. Nice job, mate. Strategy-wise, that was good.
Thanks,
but
man.
Absolutely.
and then I kind of stayed there. Then, yeah, they just started playing games, just letting each other pass on the straight right before turn 1, which is 0 racecrafts. And then they were just weaving all over the place, you know. And then I kind of dummied one of them, and that worked out good. And then I got behind Jax with a few laps to go, and then dummied him, and then yeah, managed to hold on for P3 there, and then yeah, what's his name, Ned or something now? I think got a
Blanchard.
5-second pen. Yep. So yeah, managed to finish P2. So quite happy with that. Just had to stay level-headed and try and pull a few nice moves there. Nothing too aggressive. Didn't have to pull out the old Pete account, if you know what that means.
I unfortunately do know what that means.
Yeah, I thought he might have had to make an appearance from what I was seeing ahead of me. I wasn't too impressed, but I kept my level head there. So looking forward to the next race, that's for sure. And yeah.
But how was your overall analysis of Portimao on your end? Is it
very hard to drive?
Yeah.
Probably it's a lot harder than Monaco for me, honestly. On traction,
Really?
it's super hard. I was struggling quite a lot on power, like the rear stepping out on me or the front not turning in turn 1. So, kind of felt like heading into this race was just trying to survive, really. Trying to get a top 5, which we managed to get. But yeah, the track itself, it's super fun and stuff, like a time trial and just racing in general and stuff. It's super fun, but league racing, not that good for racing, to be honest. It's kind of not that good. Like you got to send it real, like super late on the brakes. Yeah. Which is like I guess turn 2 and then I think it's turn 4, turn 5 down the hill there. That's really about it. Yeah. So it's not the best, but yeah, it was a good race overall.
But no, a fine drive on your end to get second place in the end there, Zach. So no, a fine performance from your end, and congrats on the P2.
Cheers, thank you.
Race winner time, Spilly. Yeah. You got the dub. Congratulations.
Yeah, feels pretty good. I mean, it was a good race. Strategy
worked well.
I still thought I had a chance to win even without the safety car.
Yep.
Because I was still in first. I managed to overtake Swaggy on like lap 10, still on the soft. So I still like I felt like I still had the pace.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have, if I had pitted when I was planning to pit, like lap 15 or whatever, I would have been on the mediums and everyone else would have been on the soft, so it kind of would have screwed me up, but I thought I would have been able to have my own and maybe get a top 5, top 3 hopefully, but yeah, the safety car really saved me, so I was thankful for that.
Well, not only that, but you also made no mistakes after that as well. Like, you just kept on building a margin after you got past, I think it was Swaggy and 40 who didn't pit. And actually, no, were you in between them or behind them?
I was behind. I was behind them.
Behind them. I just remember in between, but that must have been after the safety car restart. But yeah, like, it's still a great drive on your end, regardless of the luck. Like, you got out in front and you controlled your own race.
I mean, I was surprised everyone started on the mediums. I was expecting everyone to go softs because I was thinking it was a new track. There's a high chance of a safety car. You know, it's hard to get the traction under control. So
yeah,
I ended up being right. But I think Plevs was on the softs as well. I was thankful when I saw someone else in the top 10 on the softs. I was like,
I wasn't sure what to do either. So yeah, I went softs. I had no idea what tyre life was going to be like, so just went the safe option. But yeah, Spilly nearly didn't even race because he couldn't even join the session. So yeah,
well, that's
good job from him. I joined halfway through quali.
That's right. You were in the Seb Vettelmobile, I remember. Had the number 5 in his helmet and everything. That's right. Oh, sorry, it's been a very dramatic race. There's a lot of points that I remember and a lot of points I forget. But yeah, that adds to the celebration. You weren't there at the beginning of qualifying. You were late. You were, you know, a bit buzzed because of that, and you still
and I kind of messed up. I kind of messed up the timing in the quality. I think it was like going to turn dry in the last like minute, and I sort of mistimed my laps.
Yeah.
And yes, I kind of screwed that up, but I ended up making it back up, going on the softs, and by lap 3 I was in the lead. So
yeah, but no, still, regardless of everything, that was a really nice drive on your end, and you made the right call starting on the right tyre. So congratulations on your first win of the season. But
thank you.
Probably a collective question to all three of you, and we'll probably start with you, Plebs. Do you think we'll see Portimao back for another season?
Well, you're talking to a man who usually makes those decisions, Lane.
What's your assessment of it, then?
I tend to agree with Zach. It was really fun, really challenging. I didn't really know what to expect. I had done really minimal laps before today of this. I think like 1 5-lap race. But yeah, it's super fun. It's got that challenging uphill right-hander where like the car's just super unstable, it's slidey. If you go really tight or touch the curb, like it's like a death curb. So yeah, there's tiptoeing around there every lap. But yeah, the rest of the lap's pretty kind of flat out, and you can throw the car into most corners. So yeah, it's really, I'm not sure if it's still a good one for racing. We might have to do a few more. We got more races on the weekend, obviously with the Sunday leagues and stuff like that. So we'll see how it is in those. But when everyone's really kind of close in pace, like we are in Tier 1, yeah, it's not much you can do to get past someone. So that's kind of the only issue. It's a bit of a DRS train.
Yeah. Zach, do you think we'll see it back?
How was that, the track? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it back, you know, it's good fun, but
just a tough race circuit.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. And like that race felt like a long race for me. I don't know if it felt long for you in the comments box or not, but no way, quick.
No. Oh my god. I was kept on my toes all the way throughout it.
Oh, it must have just been me sweating on it then. But no, I wouldn't mind seeing it back again, but maybe, you know, maybe when my setup's a bit better and I can put the power down or something. But yeah.
And I'm sure, Spelly, with your result, I think you'd like to see it back.
I've got a bit of bias. I would love to see it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope he races there next week, in fact. That's how much I want to see it back.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're able to do that. Unless the next race puts on...
double header, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Next race cancelled, so a double header at Portugal.
Yep.
But no, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here in the commentary box. Congratulations on your finishing positions. My cat is getting really angry at me, so I better start wrapping this up. So, oh my goodness, that was quite the race here at Portimao. Certainly, so much drama, so much action all the way through. It was a pleasure to watch, but with the race finally over, it's time to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week, though, as there's still plenty of racing to take place here on Race Spec Esports, but for the Pacific Series, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 8 at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Hope to see you there. Good night.
Oh no, not